on the record button. Dun da da da. Another. And I don't not really sure. This is just a party tonight. I'm so excited. You know I love these online parties. It's just so much fun to play with great artists, have everyone come on from around the world, get to share all kinds of fun information. I know lots of people are drinking in the background. I did not suggest that, mind you. I'm just saying, but whatever, enjoy. We have so much fun stuff to show you guys tonight. It's a little bit different. If you have taken a Craftcast class, you get videos. I promise it's a little bit more, what would be the right word to use? Official and organized. And what? A little bit more, not a party, let's put it that way. But tonight there'll be lots of pictures to share that we're going to be getting a peek inside the book. We're going to be getting a peek inside what it was like for all these wonderful artists to be away together for a week. They're willing to share some of these pictures, scary as that might seem. They're willing to, so I'm going to show them. We do have prizes to give away tonight. There are coupons. There's all kinds of groovy stuff. So, and we will be taking questions. I'll try to get in as many in as possible as we go along. First, just in case you haven't found it yet, but I think most of you have, when you signed in to go to webinar, you got a little doohickey like that. So when you push that first little arrow, it opens it up, it drops that down, it gives you audio and questions. You drop down the audio. Most of you are on mic and speakers. Some people are on telephone. So then you just click that. Telephone and watching on your computer. And then when you click the other one where it says questions, right here, here's where you type your question and push send. And then I can see it right here on my end. And then there's another little doohickey, another technical term, in the upper left-hand corner of your computer screen that looks like a little computer, and it gives you a percentage to watch this whole thing at. 42% seems to be a pretty good percent to use on your personal computer. So you can play around with the size as well on your end. I love to also right here, I love to know you're all out there. So see that little hand right there? You guys, if you found it, click it. It's sort of what I've decided is a way of like applause and clapping. And boy, these people tonight deserve a round of applause. So find your little hand and click away. It's very exciting to see you all clicking. I know you're all out there when you click your hand. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. It's always fun to see. I hear the applause. It's always nice. And there's so many people from around the world on tonight. I am speechless. Well, I better not be speechless, but I am really moved to know, how important it is for everyone to make this connection. So thank you all for that round of applause. Again, this is, if all goes well with the technical gods, which we're always hoping it does, there will be a recording of this, a screencast recording that'll be up on YouTube sometime at the end of tomorrow. It takes a while to get that all organized. So you can rewatch it, people who missed it, etc. I'll go back to this at some point, but I always offer, if you come on to the live classes where we have a blast, people come on always get a coupon code. Tonight's coupon code, for all of you who know that, that would be available tonight. Polymer Artists is the coupon code for this evening. It gives you 20% off on all of the incredible recordings these teachers have made at craftcast.com. Plus, I put together a special package I hope you all like that I'll announce midway through tonight's, what should we call it, party, that I'm going to tell you all about. So that's all you need to know right now. What we're going to do is we're going to hear from the brave authors who put together this wonderful insanity, and then we're going to be able to go through and talk to each of the artists that worked in their collaboration to hear what it's like. I will try to push the button that will, how do they use it on TV when you have to mute if someone says something I shouldn't allow to go over the airwaves, but I promise nothing. I promise nothing. Sorry. Beep. Yeah.
Bleep.
Just know that this is for adult consumption only this evening. I think I need to say that tonight. So there we go. So first, I would love to introduce, let me say a little bit of something first about our, let me close this, about the brave authors of this book. I pulled up Tammy Hahnemann's website. Beautiful work. I can't make a thing in polymer clay, so I am just always moved beyond words. I was looking at this picture right here of this ring on Tammy's website, and it's just like, to me, it's all magic. Also, as a quick note, here's a good place to go and buy the book tonight. It's all set up for you to click right through here. It's a great way to support all the artists, as well as Ms. Judy Belcher, who is an author on the book. I was looking through her photo stream if you want to be inspired. All I can say is I don't know how they do it. It's just beautiful magic. So both Judy and Tammy, let me unmute. We've been muting.
Mute me.
Yes, we've been muting Miss Judy because she's having a little bit of a click problem, but we're going to unmute her. Are you there, Judy?
A click, not a twitch.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm unmuted.
You're unmuted.
No, I mean, it's not hysterical to have me mute.
But talk sort of softer so that we can hear you clearer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right.
Well, you and Tammy, the brave ones, tell everyone briefly what you want to say about this book. What was it like? How'd you talk someone into it?
I was friends with the editor who did the first book that I did, and she kept bugging me, do another book, and I kept saying, I don't have anything else in me. But Tammy and I are conference, workshop, retreat junkies. And we've always talked about how much fun it is to do that, and then I'd talk about it with other people, and they'd say, oh, I wish I could go. And so we decided, wouldn't it be great to have our own little gathering and let everybody else be the fly on the wall? And so that's how it started.
And you did
and
it.
And the publisher, much to our surprise, said, oh, okay, sounds good.
You talked them into
it.
So
we said, all right, yeah. I said, we want to go to a fabulous location, and we want you to pay for it. And they said, okay. I feel like a scam artist, but it was fabulous.
And there you go. And I say, every time we say Polymer tonight, which I'll say right now, Polymer, take another drink, everyone. That's what I say. It's a drinking game this evening.
Yay.
All right, I'm going to mute you for a second, Miss Judy, and then Tammy's going to speak a bit. Let me just mute Judy. Okay, go ahead, Tammy. Tell me your side of it. And I'm going to show some pictures as we're going down here of all these people's work. There's the beautiful cover right there of the book we're talking about tonight. Tammy, what was your experience?
Like Judy said, we really enjoy spending time with people and all of the wonderful conversations that come up when you're together and all the things that are shared. And so many of the experiences that we've done together where there's actually clay out and about, there's always something that gets made, and inevitably late at night things morph and change and grow, and all of a sudden you've got this effort that's been impacted by so many people who were in the room late at night. And one thing led to another, and through serious conversations you learn that somebody picked up something from somebody the night before that they really appreciated and said, hey, how about this? Can you show me how to do this, and how can I use it, and how can I make it more of my own style but yet still take away from it? And the idea just kind of morphed, and wanting to be able to go away together as a group, as well as come up with a reasonable book profile.
Right.
That's kind of how it all came together. And in approaching people, it was always an interesting sell. Once we knew who the publisher was willing to work with, and who they really wanted to be, and felt it would work well together, and all of that. Once we got through all of that, and we're talking with people and bringing it all together, it was just an amazing experience to get everybody together and see what came.
But now, what was the scariest part? Was it overwhelming once you got there to start? Did you ever say, "Row"?
No,
you were thrilled right from the beginning. It's like, let's go. On your mark, and set, go.
Yeah, let's go. And for me, I was very fortunate. My husband came with us, and he's my rock at home. So to have him with me,
nice.
Some sturdy legs to stand on. That if I knew something fell apart, if it wasn't Judy I'd turn to, it was my husband, and then everything would be fine.
Yeah, good. So you had your support team there. Let me back up here and just give some credits here, because I'm just going to show, to begin with, some of the people that were on the book and their wonderful work. Here is Ms. Cynthia Tinapple from Polymer Clay Daily. I said that right, Cynthia? Palmer Clay Daily, doing her fabulous sea glass, which I love, right there on her wrist. Lots of interesting things came out. You're going to hear from her shortly. Dale Darha, who we were trying to get her on, but it doesn't seem to be working. She had to come in by phone, and I don't. Well, let me just keep. I don't see her coming in, but we'll still keep our fingers crossed. I know Sarah's hoping she comes. Judy Belcher, and I wanted to say about Judy before. It's so much fun to talk to Judy because how did I first hear about Judy? On the Carol Duvall show, watching her come on to show things. I thought, look at that woman. Yeah, it was fabulous. Julie Pigarello, here is one of her pieces. Love it. Miss Leslie Blackford, this insane woman. I don't know how. This is just, it's all magic, but this is crazy magic is all I'm saying. She's, woo. Linley Hanoi, look at how beautiful that is. I mean, just gorgeous colors. Mr. Robert Dancik, who puts it all together with a fun twist. And Sandra McCau. Don't know how that's possible is all I can say, but it's beautiful. Sarah Shriver, another absolutely exquisite. Sarah, are these bracelets?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Seth Savick, one of his pieces, absolutely gorgeous. So I just wanted you guys to see possibilities because to me, it's when you look at a piece and you just say, I love that. That is so gorgeous. And you might ask eventually, what's that made of? But so many of these pieces, it's just exquisite work. And then it's sort of fun to know what was in it. So I just thoroughly enjoyed that. So we're going to talk to artists, see what their experience was in working in collaboration, because that's something that's certainly, I think, fascinating to talk about. You know what we should do first? How about, Tammy, let's go through the book first, and then we'll talk about everyone else, because I pulled out the pages.
Oh, cool.
Yes, let's go through that right here. It's a beautiful book, you guys, and I don't make any money off of any of this. So I get to say these things just freely. And if you're it's one of those things, if you're into Polymer, you're going to want it in your library. Tammy, I'll just go through it. Why don't you talk and tell people what you want to tell them about this?
Sure. Obviously, the title page and table of contents, so you can get a good idea of the depth of material that's included.
Yeah, beautiful.
And then the list of artists, so nice introduction to the artists and their accomplishments and, some of the highlights of their careers and some images that are not a part of the book that we were able to, get into the book so you could see a little bit about what they bring to the table.
Right, beautiful.
And then from there, we go into a basic section, and then we start off with the collaborative chapters. There's 5 chapters in the book, and the collaborative starts out with the introduction to each of the artists and where they're headed. Then we go into a showcase of each of the artists' work that are in this collaboration.
Gorgeous.
And then each of the artists does a project of their own work, and it's an introduction so you could see the picture of the piece, and then the step outs,
how to do it
piece by
yourself.
piece, how to do it yourself. And then from each of their own projects, it goes into the collaborative project that they then worked on together while we were away. And literally, these projects really were done within a week's time frame.
Yeah, it's very inspiring. It's totally inspiring. Love it. Love it. It's definitely the kind that you can enjoy reading and going through, not just the projects, and just get inspired by seeing how people think. So beautiful. All right, so we're going to hear from our first artist. That means you're up, Miss Sarah Shriver. But wait, let me pull up some pictures.
And I'm talking about collaboration all by myself.
Isn't that sort of perfect? Isn't that sort of perfect? But wait, first off, here's our motley crew that we're talking about, which I love. Look at all you happy faces there. You look like you had a good time. You don't look like you're faking it, that's for sure. Well, let's just see if Dale came in. We'll try one more time. I don't see her. No.
I don't see her.
I don't see her. She just had to be on a phone and didn't know if she could get through. Well, I love this. This will inspire you. Tell me what your experience was, darling.
Well, I am friends with Dale, so we actually had a little preliminary get-together where we looked at colors and kind of swapped ideas, and we both had a real strong textiles bent, so we decided that we would kind of initiate our collaborative efforts using textiles as kind of inspiration. And then we incorporated just a wee bit. You can see a few little hairs on things. So we
Yeah,
incorporate,
yeah.
and then Dale's pieces, that's our collaborative pieces. And then with Dale's piece, you can see a little more of the direct relationship of kind of the textiles in the pattern, and well, I guess she used type there too. But we kind of put together what we thought would be our palette. And then I think this is in the book, but the fact of the matter was when we got together and looked at the clay samples of how we interpreted the painted palette, it was very different. We both sort of looked at each other and were like, really? That's what you got out of those painted colors? Because we really moved in different directions there. But that was just kind of interesting. You know, it's always kind of interesting to when that light, you know, it sheds a light on something that you assumed was different.
Right.
And that was, I think, the kind of the most fun for me about the collaboration was just seeing how differently people can interpret the same information.
Mhm.
It's
Like
very
life.
entertaining.
It is
Like
entertaining.
life.
Like life.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So anyway, I sure wish Dale had a voice in this.
Well, you know
But
what? I'm going to share something that she had a tip she wanted to share, which I thought
good.
was
Okay.
great.
Okay.
She said, which I think this is a really good one, especially for people like myself who are just starting out, to save all of her broken little pieces. She doesn't throw anything away. She has a box of them. And then, you know, she pulls them out to use, be re-inspired to incorporate into other things. And I thought that was great because sometimes, oh yes, it might be me who's done this, where something doesn't work and you just go and throwing the whole thing away. It's terrible. And I thought that was great. You know, it was great that someone who we're looking up to the masters and they're still saving bits and bobs to be re-inspired. So I thought that was a really good tip.
That is a good tip. And just to be contrary, I would say that I try to get rid of anything that isn't working so I have some clarity in front of me.
Okay.
Just to
Yeah.
say there are always two sides of the coin.
Absolutely. I hear you. Now, what's going on there?
This was a little experimental piece. We got pretty excited about these little leaf shapes, and
Mhm.
Dale had made them with, she had made a whole bunch of them with kind of transparent clay, and then gave a little wire structure in the center so that we could kind of bend them. And then we ended up painting the edges gold, and they ended up quite appealing. I don't think we used this piece. It was just something that we were messing with. But there's Dale now. That's exactly what she looked like. Dale was a ballerina.
Even at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
these
so
figurines are so gorgeous. I didn't mean to click to
yeah.
that right then. Actually, my hand slipped, but I'm glad I did because there you go. So there's Dale now. What can we say?
There's Dale now.
But wait, let me just. Oh wait, there was a question that I want. Maybe Tammy or someone could answer this. People wanted to know: are there exact directions in the book for projects?
There are exact directions in the book, aren't they? Sorry,
Yes.
Tammy, you say so. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Of each of the artists' individual projects, the collaborative are more inspirational and set up to give you an idea of what they did and how they did it. But
Yeah,
because they were more of a collaborative effort, they're not as exact as their individual projects are.
got it. So it's a good mix of things in there. How to and plus being inspired. So
Yeah, those ultralight shapes in the background are pretty appealing.
which one are you talking about here?
Well,
Okay,
in
the
all these,
train.
yeah.
We have to stop the train that's coming through.
No, in this picture, the ultralight.
Oh, back here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the other thing. So we decided there were several things we decided on, and one of them was also the use of big shapes using the ultralight as a core.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did our color palette, the inspiration from textiles, and then our other commitment was to use these kind of oversized shapes that we were making both with molds and carving with the ultralight, which I just think is a really cool, fun material to work with because it's so it's really finger sensitive, but it holds firm, so you can do really kind of interesting shapes really simply. You know, it moves really easily, but then it holds its form.
Mm-hmm.
So we had also talked about incorporating metal, but I think the only metal thing we actually incorporated was that funny little squiggly wire that goes from the top to the bottom of the sort of earthworm type of thing. Yeah.
Well, that's still darn cute. You know what, Sarah, just push your mic away from your mouth just a little bit.
Okay.
That'll be great. Well, they're fabulous shapes. I mean, it's very exciting. Who produces that ultralight? Chris wanted to know. Can someone give a
It's
Polyform.
yeah,
Yep.
Polyform.
thanks, Seth? Polyform. So there you go. So guys, just Google it and you'll find it online there. So,
Yeah.
well,
Yep.
I think that's fabulous. Let's see here. Yes, Dale's looking mighty fine there, made by Ms. Leslie, one of her beautiful figurines. There's Dale at work right there.
Well, and if I can just interject, this is Tammy. If I could just interject,
Mhm.
because I happen to be seated next to Dale and Sarah. Dale, to me, it was the most amazing collaboration because Dale was up at the crack of dawn, if not before.
Mhm.
Sarah had probably only just gone to bed a few hours prior to that.
That's probably actually true. I think Dale would get up about 6, and I would go to bed about 3.
3.
Yeah, I mean, in general, I went to bed about 3, I think. I think Seth and I were usually putting out the lights.
Yeah.
And I had to get up and help Jim make breakfast. I was like dragging. I was drinking coffee, and I don't even drink coffee
Well,
the whole week.
it is fun to stay up all night and chat and work on crafts. Come on, what doesn't get any better than an all-night slumber party like that? So that was fun.
Well, and somewhere there is a picture of Dale napping.
Oh,
She
we'll get to
usually
those at the
napped.
end. I'm trying to keep
Okay,
it all
good.
nice and friendly right now. All right, so
Yeah,
that
no,
looked
Dale.
absolutely gorgeous. All right, our next people to talk, Mr. Dancik and Mr. Savick. I'm very excited. Now, wait, first, Robert, I want you to give everyone that great tip that you told me because it worked for me. Do you remember the one that you told me?
I believe, yes. One of the things, well, first of all, I was really honored to be invited to this, especially since I was sort of the token non-polymer person. I think they brought me along in case they needed a hammer.
Of course.
Oh, thanks for putting up that picture.
Hey,
That's great for my reputation.
that's
Yeah. Hey.
your manicure. I was told that's part of it.
Yes.
So
The manicure that I've had, the only one I've had in my entire life, by the way.
we'll see. You learned a lot on this trip.
So the tip that you were talking about is coming from more of a metals background. I take fired pieces of clay, and with a jeweler's saw, I saw the clay into shapes that you probably wouldn't be able to get even with a knife or something like that, because the jeweler's saw is so fine. It's about if you had hair, which I obviously don't, and you twisted about 3 hairs together, that's how thick the saw blade is. So you can get detail that you can't get any other way. And then what I use is I use those in inlays and to fashion other pieces. These sawn pieces of polymer clay.
I think that's such a good idea.
And I'm also with Dale about never throwing anything out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you are?
And I
Okay,
use
yeah.
bits and I saw them up. So when you have something that failed, if you saw it up, you have something else entirely.
You know, Robert, just a very quick, but I keep finding things in the street, and I actually have a little box of things to send you. Because
Well, thank you.
Thinking, these are little things. I'm sure Robert could make this into something wonderful.
And you know what? I can't believe you said that, Sarah, because you know what? Tonight I got out of the car because I saw broken headlight pieces on the ground.
There you are.
Those great little reflector pieces, all because of Robert. All collecting all that
He
fun
has
stuff.
one
Now-
pink fingernail here.
Well, now wait, you know what? There's your pink. Now, Frances
pink
just
fingernail.
said, when you said your first manicure, she said, well, it is called a manicure. So thank you very much for that,
Well, thank you.
Francesca.
That's
Yes.
awfully
Yes.
kind.
So here's Mr. Seth right here. Now, Seth, I didn't ask you
Yep.
this before, honey, but do you have a tip that you would share off the top of your head? I didn't give you time to prep that.
Oh my.
That's okay. We don't have to. Think about it for a sec. I know you have tons.
Yeah, give me a minute.
Yeah, let me while you're talking. All right, so we're going to look though. Robert, you keep talking. I love this. This is your tool collection, right, Robert?
Yes, that's my nice, neat portion of the thing.
Yes.
Again, being a non-polymer person, I came with lots of toys other than the typical polymer clay toys.
Oh, sure.
And it was
Along
just
with a bottle of wine.
that was not my bottle of wine.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Anyway,
there is that bottle of wine. Okay, take another toast. We said the word polymer. Go ahead, drink up. But wait, here's a real question because this is good. People are asking. Heidi wanted to know, Robert, did you saw it cured or uncured polymer clay? It'd be cured,
cured.
right?
Yeah, fired,
Fired,
baked,
fired, baked.
fired, hard polymer clay. Yeah.
Hard polymer clay. There you go.
And if you have trouble with the polymer clay bending a little bit, just take a piece of corrugated cardboard, put the polymer clay and saw through the entire affair, and it'll keep the clay perfect as you're sawing. But
Excellent
that's
idea.
that's also true for any very thin material, like really, really thin metal tin or things like that. You just back it with a piece of cardboard and saw through the whole thing.
Great idea. Someone else here, was it who's commenting? Oh, Francesca again. Loves in your vise here that you've got your bench
Well,
pin.
we were sitting at tables that are just regular 30-inch tables, like, a dining table. And what that vise does is it picks up the bench pin upon which you saw that V-shaped piece of wood there,
Mm-hmm.
and it brings it up about 9 inches, which makes it just about jeweler's table height,
Nice.
because you need to have it higher up to get the ergonomics of sawing proper.
See, what I do is I just bend over so that my neck hurts so bad by the end.
Yeah, right. Or get tennis elbow. Yeah, all of those good things.
Well, let's hear about your piece. This is one that you did during the week. This is yours alone, or was this the
This
collaboration?
was the project that I did beforehand,
Right.
yeah, as part of the book. I also made one there. It's a copper box that's fastened without soldering. It's very, very firm. It's stapled, actually. You can see little tiny tabs there
Oh yeah, I see it right
on
there.
the edges, and you put pieces of wire and fold them up inside to hold those tabs, so there's no soldering, and you can make any size or shape box that you'd like. And the same with the hinges and stuff. And it was filled with polymer clay, and you can tell that, again, my color sense. A friend always says Robert has a great sense of color as long as it's black, white, or brown.
Sure, I
And
agree.
pathetically, she's right. And there is a cold-connected little dome of plastic that I make
Oh yeah, I
right there,
see it.
yeah,
Yep.
with pearls and some other little things underneath there that shake. And that's held in place by little tabs. You don't see the tabs terribly well, but 3 little tabs that are bolted right through the polymer clay and the copper backing. And then there's some
Nice.
glass with some copy behind it on that little bottom piece there.
Very nice. And then this is the piece. Seth, why don't you talk about the piece you guys did? I love this piece. This is so
Well,
gorgeous.
Robert and I talked about, I don't know, a month or two before we were, even before that, I guess, before we were going to meet in the Outer Banks, because we knew each other's work and we knew each other a little bit, but I knew that Robert wanted to work in metal, and I wanted to make sure that we had some idea of where we were headed. And so we sat down on the phone and did a couple consultations, and then Robert sent me some pieces that he did just as samples, and I looked at them, and then we talked again. And
You know what, Seth? Talk closer to your mic. People are having a hard time
and then
hearing
we
you.
and then we talked again. Is that better?
Nice, nice, much better.
Okay. And then we talked again, and we kind of had this kind of long distance collaboration months before we ever met in the Outer Banks. And then I just went there really kind of like, okay, well, what am I going to do? Because Robert had already made the metal portion of our project.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going with the, oh boy, I got to do something here. And I didn't want too much planned out ahead. I just wanted to get there and see what the inspiration was that came. And then I was kind of stuck, actually. And Robert made a suggestion about working from a narrative, which is not the way that I had worked before. And so he went and wrote a story. And then I read that, and then between the story that he wrote and what was going on in the environment that we were in a house at the beach in a nor'easter. I kind of just came to this idea of gossamer waves and translucency and styration, and that's how I got to the boats being filled with this kind of wavy version of polymer. So it was kind of a total different direction than I had conceived of originally.
Right.
but it just worked really well. And it was just kind of the time there was experimenting with how do I do this and trying out some different ideas. Once I got to that place, but it took a couple days to get to that place.
It did. So you had some
Um,
things you didn't love when you first started.
oh yeah, of course.
Yes.
And
Well,
and for me, I mean, the collaboration for me was really just delightful and easy, and I think felt just really natural and flowed. Um, it was just kind of interesting to be also observing everybody else and kind of absorbing what was going on around the house at the time.
right.
And it pretty much was all around you, Seth, because you were in the center of the
Yeah,
room.
I was kind of didn't have a place to sit when I got there because we were busy with getting all the food and getting the kitchen up and running because I was kind of helping out there. And so by the time I sat down to work, there was like no place for Seth. So
Oh,
No.
well,
No room at the inn, huh?
no room at the inn, right? So I just kind of took a space like right in the middle. It was at the counter. The kitchen was kind of this open kitchen, so and it was this great cool marble top. So I liked working on that, and so I just kind of set up there, and was kind of like between everyone. So
yeah.
it was
Actually a really good seat in the end.
It was. It actually was. It really.
Yeah.
It was probably, I think, the best thing in the house.
Except you had to move when we served dinner. That's all.
I had to move every night. But it kind of got me used to keeping things neat and not spreading out too much and keeping myself
Unlike the
focused.
table.
So.
Yeah, unlike Robert's area.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Another table.
how you get used to working wherever you need to. Now, people are asking some questions about, is it, did that hold up? Is that too lightweight to wear? Anything else you can?
This?
Yes.
Lightweight? No.
Oh gosh, no.
All right. No, wait. Someone's moving papers around. Be careful. Quiet there, presenters. Talk about the materials there, because people are interested. So you were using maybe, Robert, is that like
Sterling
sheet
silver.
metal? Sterling silver. Okay.
Yeah, it's sterling silver. They're fold-formed boats. So this is another project where there's virtually no soldering in this entire project.
Okay. Okay.
The boats are formed by just folding a piece of metal, cutting it, forging it, and unfolding it. Basically, that's it, and that's the way the boats are formed. And then drilling holes and putting the wire links through it. And the links actually came after I had seen what Seth was doing with the texture that he was filling the boats with. So those little curlicues were different than what I had originally planned.
Right, that's right. We took it.
And I made those there to reflect again what Seth had been doing in the boat. So I agree with Seth that the collaboration part of this was just spectacular, and it's so wonderful because a lot of times we sit in our studios by ourselves, and it's a completely different situation.
Yeah.
When you have all of these phenomenal artists around to glean the inspiration from.
Yeah.
And the talk was incredibly important as well.
Right. In between.
Well, if I can just add, Robert was able to, and we were able to fit in the fold forming of the boats, the instructions on how to do that, as well as Robert's story, which was the inspiration behind the direction of the way the piece eventually went. As well as how to make that domed piece on his own project.
Oh,
Right.
cool. Okay.
Yeah. And all the instructions for making this are pretty much, I mean, not step by step, as in our individual projects, there's instructions specific, but just kind of how I got to making the striations and the gossamer waves and all as it unfolded. So it was all captured in the book, so it's how we did it is there.
Cool.
And that's just, I don't know if there's a picture of one of the things I spent a lot of time with before I even got to the filling part was getting the color palette right, which was kind of a rub off from Linley and Cynthia, who were sitting.
Seth, come a little closer to your mic again.
It was a color palette was really a big thing, and coming to find that, and I worked, I think, a day or two on just that.
Yeah, the color palette's exquisite.
Was influenced by having Linley around and and Cynthia, and we had a little thing going there with the translucent. We were playing around with that.
Yeah, and the color palette is in the book, and the kind of the gist behind all of that.
And
Yeah.
for me, that was really an education, because again, I'm not one for using a whole heap of color. And Seth, it was just masterful to watch him go over and over and over until he got this. It was really a lot of, I guess, trial and error, but he just seemed to know exactly where he was headed, even though sometimes he thought it didn't work out well. I loved every single iteration of the palette that he came up with. And
Yeah,
the
it's
one,
great.
it doesn't really show up as well in the photograph, the translucency that Seth was referring to, you actually see into these things.
Mm-hmm.
They're really quite exquisite.
Well, you guys did
The
good.
Polymer
You're
clay.
both very
Yeah, and
talented.
those, I mean, and the other thing is the colors. Well, thank you. The
That's awfully
colors,
kind.
the book, the photos. It's always never the same when you have a photo. The pieces, the waves, each of these are different colors, so it's almost like kind of like pointillism, where the colors come together to create the color that the eye sees.
Yeah, it's great.
So there's a lot of striation, not just texturally, but also in the color. And so it gives a lot of interest. It's not flat color. It's
Right.
mix of color.
Well, Seth, since
And
you're
I-
talking, wait, hold on. I'm going to use you guys to do our first drawing of a prize here, because I can
Okay.
tell people are wondering. So we're going to do it.
Want me to pick the number?
I do. I want you to pick a number between 1 and 396. You guys, we're going to do some prize drawings here. We have 3 really cool package prizes we're going to hand out of, you're either going to get some DVDs or a book or another kind of polymer clay goodie. You're going to like it, is all I'm saying. So what the deal is, you're going to pick a number. Seth and Robert are each going to pick a number, and I'm going to call out the name that it matches, and then you're responsible for letting me know your email address. So you can send me an email at allison@craftcast.com. Okay, Robert, you give me a number first. 1 from 397. I'm spinning the wheel.
174.
Lawrence Smith.
Wow! Yay!
Yay, Lawrence Smith. You're gonna like
Congratulations.
it. Congratulations to you. You're going to get a goodie package. It's very cool. Lawrence, you're going to have to give me your email address so I can get your address to send something to you. And Mr. Savick, it is your turn now to pick a number between 1 and 397, but don't do the same number.
27.
Which?
27.
27, Susan Gross. Susan Gross, you won.
Yay.
Yay, you're going to get a surprise package. We love that. And okay, one more. Tammy, why don't you pick a number between 1 and 397?
292.
292? Okay, hold on. Randy Wilson. Randy Wilson. Patrick Cusick, you almost won, but I thought, yeah, we shouldn't do that. So there you go, Randy Wilson. Congratulations, all of you guys. You're going to get some really fun, neat package in the mail. I want to tell you all about one other thing, because I know all of you are dying to learn more polymer clay. I can tell from all the questions here. Yay, R. Lawrence in Vancouver, polymer clay gold. Great, cool. So here's what I wanted to show you guys that I put up tonight for all of you. I'm doing a little special. You know that there are many classes, videos. It's not like tonight where we're just looking at stills over on craftcast.com, where you can check out, so many different recordings. Just go right here to the recordings. And a lot of the teachers on tonight have some on here that you can learn fabulous projects with. So what I did was, though, I put on tonight something special for all of you, which is I did a polymer clay recording special purchase. There's 5 recordings in this. It's a rock cuff bracelet with Melanie Muir, a wonderful video with Cynthia Tinapple, with Maggie Maggio, with Debbie Carlton, and with Seth Savick. They're fabulous. It's over, I added it up. It's something like a ridiculous amount of instruction, like 7 hours of instruction. Videos, close-ups, you name it. And I took a whole bunch of money off of it for tonight. It goes for normally $199.75. There's like $50 taken off. Make sure you use the extra coupon code Polymer Artists. $149.60. You get over 7 hours of instruction. It's a deal tonight. I know so many of you want to learn about polymer, as well as many of you have been asking for some coaching or help from me. So I'm putting in there the first 10 people who sign up. They'll get 20 minutes of coaching with me. We can talk about anything, any resources, help you need with your site, with photographs, ideas you have. My pleasure. I love to work with the first 10 of you. So there you go. Come on over to craftcast.com. And if you're buying other recordings and you already have these, you can still use your coupon and get 20% off right through the weekend. So there you go. Take advantage of that. I'm telling you, these have great classes on there. They teach great projects. Well, thank you guys. I'm going to move on now to our next couple here, Leslie and Sandra. Are you both on, Leslie and Sandra? I'd have to unmute someone.
Yes, I am here.
Good.
I'm
and,
here.
and Leslie, yeah. Yay. All right. So you guys,
Leslie.
look at how cute they are here. So they're starting. They did some stuff. Can't even believe it. So Sandra, tell me what was your experience of doing the collaboration besides getting good kisses?
It was a good case. Oh yeah. Well, I've known Leslie for almost as long as I've been working with Polymer, and certainly admired her and respected her work. And I actually requested to be paired with her this week because I feel like her approach to work is the polar opposite of mine. And I was, I feel at times like I'm my own worst enemy because I work so precisely and symmetric and tight, and I was hoping that I would glean some of Leslie's spontaneity. And
good plan. Did it work?
I'm still me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yes, it did. It
Okay,
did,
good.
certainly. Yeah, the project we worked on was inspired by the wash piece, The Garden of Earthly Delights, that Leslie had seen in Madrid, and we didn't really talk at all about the details of fabricating it at all. We just said, yeah, okay, that looks good, let's do it. Which, and then when we got there, we dove in and did a lot of problem solving, and it changed directions a lot along the way. I ended up applying all of the feathers on the owl, and it took days, and I saw very little of Leslie during that time. I think it made her nervous watching me meticulously apply one feather at a time. And for me, it was kind of zen-like. We were up on the second floor on the balcony, and we had 2 or 3 stories of windows looking out over the ocean. And for me, it was just really relaxing and calming. And our space, I think I arrived with Julie, and I think we were the last 2 people to arrive. And there weren't a lot of options for workspace. And I know Leslie's a lot more social, or not,
Well, here,
not that I'm not social, but that she can work in a.
Go
ahead.
Like I was going to say, I think this shows it all. Here is Leslie's work, love. Here is your work, meticulous and love. And I think that says it all right there in visuals, that you're coming together from polar opposites in a lovely way.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. And the place we ended up working was at a table kind of isolated, but overlooking everybody else, and we were able to hear everything that was being said. But
we could hear everything.
Yes, we could.
Oh no.
And actually, I think Leslie spent about 30%. I think Leslie spent about 30% of our time actually at that table, and the rest of the time she was down with everybody else, in her group. And I just can't focus when I'm surrounded by a lot of commotion.
Okay.
And Leslie kind of needs that. So it actually worked out really well.
I'm going to show this finished piece when we get to it. Maybe I can quickly jump to it. Let me see if I can, because I realize it's not in there. I'm going to show some fun pictures. I know, there's Jim. Yay. I'm going to show some fun pictures at the very end here just to go through, but I'm looking to see if I have that. Oh, there it is. So here's the piece that you guys are talking about. That's outrageous. Fabulous. I can see applying the feathers. I'd probably have to leave too. That would be a lot to watch.
Yeah, and while I was doing that, Leslie was whipping out all these legs that were hanging below, and I kept saying, "Well, don't do them all, because I want to do at least one. I really want to do that. I don't want to just be stuck doing these owl feather, not stuck, but I want to do something different from what I was used to. And actually, I think I did the lotus petals,
Uh-huh.
which again much bigger than I'm used to working. And then I did do one of the legs, the frog, with Leslie's help.
Now,
No,
Leslie,
you did that.
Leslie, so you work free and easy. Is that true? Does it feel that way when you're working?
Most of the time, I mean, pretty much. But I knew Sandra's work, and I knew how different she would work too. And she helped me so much with like the size of the owl. Like I'd made it too small, and just knowing what proportions it should have been.
How big is it here? About how tall is that?
How tall is
4
it, Sandra?
inches. It's probably 4.
The owl.
Well,
Wait,
it's
we
about
had
4
something
inches.
here.
Yeah,
There
the
we
owl is
go.
like 4 inches. Yeah, the finished owl. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
just the owl.
It twirls on that center.
Not the owl. The entire thing twirls. The lotus, the legs, all twirl.
Oh dear.
And the little legs swing
Oh
out.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
they
sh-
swing out.
I-
And one of the questions we had right from the get-go was, is it going to be a mobile or is it going to be a standing sculpture? Is it going to have moving parts? So we kind of worked through all those questions right from at the beginning.
It's
Well, and
outrageous.
if I can add in, they did 2 owls. They did the first one, like Leslie was saying, to make sure the size was right. They found out the size wasn't right, and then they used it for other parts of experimentation. And that was
Right,
about
I
2
used-
inches.
Okay.
Yeah, I used that as a prototype just to experiment with how the feathers would be applied, and I actually learned a lot and ended up doing it very differently.
See, Leslie's good. She was relaxed. She had time to go down to the beach and think it through.
That was the first day, and that was the only day, I think, because it was so cold and windy. I think we just went like one time.
Well, now let
Well,
me
I
ask.
love cold.
beautiful, though.
wind.
Let me
I
ask
was
a
out
few
every
technical
day.
questions. Let me ask a few because people are dying. They're seeing this. They want to know a few things. So let's tell them a few things, just a few. Barb, if you're saying someone wanted to make the images bigger, make them bigger on your own computer. Go up to that little computer screen thing in your upper left-hand corner because they're pretty big right here. So you can control them on your own computer. Elise wanted to know, is this a real rock?
No,
No,
it's
see,
not. It's polymer rock. Did we put sand in there?
it looks pretty
Yeah, I think
sandy.
so. Yeah.
It looks fabulous.
Give
Um,
it some weight, give it some texture.
That's right.
people want to know, is this a translucent clay that you used in here for the petals?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yep. And we experimented with several different colors. The first one came out looking too much like the color of, a fish,
It's
salmon.
like meat,
Or-
didn't it?
Yeah, like me. Yeah. It was wrong. So we worked through a couple of those.
And then
But it is translucent.
translucent clay. And then are the
Yes.
eyes polymer as well?
No, the eyes are like, there's some taxidermy eyes that
Okay.
I use them in lots of stuff.
Yeah.
So
that
they're
looks-
glass, actually.
That looks fabulous.
And you
And
can't
then,
see. You can't. Okay.
Go
sorry,
ahead.
Go ahead,
no, go ahead, hon.
Alice.
You can.
Well, you can't see it in this photograph. I don't know if you have one, but the back of the owl has a face on it that Leslie made, which is fabulous. And it's a total surprise, and it's very mysterious. And our original idea, because owls, a real owl can turn
There
its
it
head.
is.
See, there it is. Yep. So a real owl can just turn its head around. And we thought, trying to figure out a way to make the head spin. And it just wouldn't work because of the way the feathers were applied. It just, we just couldn't figure it out. We talked to Robert a lot about it, and what we ended up, it was a big aha moment. I mean, I think everyone in the house could hear our, cheers when we figured it out, was to make the entire thing spin. So the owl is stationary on top of the lotus, and the legs hang freely, and then you spin the entire thing on the tree trunk, and the legs flare out.
Oh my gosh,
And it's
fabulous.
like a
Wait, where did that
carousel.
go? I just had it and it disappeared. There it is. So when you spin it, everything flares out.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
The legs, the legs just fly out. Yep.
I think you guys did good. So you do it again,
I
right?
really liked it.
Oh, it's beautiful. Wait, here's one other question. Georgia wants to know, are the owl feathers from one cane with Skinner blends?
That's all you,
I don't.
Sandra.
No, not Skinner blends, because this is one of the reasons I didn't offer a tip tonight, because if there's a really hard way to do it, that's the way I do it.
Sure, good.
So
Love that.
yeah, like I find the hardest way, but you know, all of the feathers are made from, you know, I made the, you know, mix the 10 graded shades, stack them. So the feathers in the front of the owl, like his breast, are from 2 of the colors that are in the feathers that are around the rest of the body, which has 3 colors. If that makes sense.
Yes.
So the feathers around most of the body have 3 colors. The ones on the breast and around the face are minus one of those colors.
Yeah, it's
Is
beautiful.
that okay, Judith Skinner?
Judith,
Is
you're
Judith
being
okay?
asked.
Okay.
Judith is here tonight. Oh my gosh.
Good contrast here. New insights. Well, Leslie, did you get an insight from moving to your work? How did it affect you, Leslie?
Just watching the detail that Sandra puts into things, and maybe to make myself slow down a little bit and take a little bit more time, which I could never take the time Sandra does. We're just made so different.
Yeah, we're made differently.
Yeah, but just in watching her do that, it made me want to slow down and take a little bit more time with the detail, and I really enjoyed working with Sandra and I learned so much.
There you are.
Well, I did too, and I have to say, one of a big aha moments for me was if you go back to the finished piece. Sorry, there's a tiger's leg on the right-hand side. It's kind of a pink and orange. Yep, right there. And I was actually mixing. I think I was mixing the colors for the lotus leaf, the blend for the lotus leaf, because it was, you know, a mixture of colors. And I was, you know, halfway through mixing that blend, you know, running it through the pasta machine, and Leslie just went, "Oh my God, that would make a great tiger's leg. Stop! Can I have a piece of that?" And for me, you know, I have an idea, I have an end in sight, I work towards that end, and I don't think about what's happening in between. And what I learned from Leslie was to just slow down more, and really, or to be more observant as I'm working.
Right.
And see the possibilities of each stage of the process.
Be here now in the possibilities. That was a good lesson to learn.
Yes, instead of just focusing on the end product.
Yes, excellent lesson to learn. Yeah. Well, you guys did good. You get a star. You win too. You did good.
Oh, thank you.
Beautiful. Well, thank you
you
guys. You what?
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Sandra?
I love Leslie. I am so thankful to Judy and Tammy for inviting me to be part of this project and pairing me up with Leslie, because it was just one of the most rewarding weeks artistically that I've had probably in my entire life.
Nice.
I felt the same way. I never had an opportunity to just sit and focus like that, and with these amazing people that I've read about in books and took classes from, and I was just thrilled to be there.
Yeah, it does. It sounds very exciting, but it's all captured in print, which is really good for the rest of us. Excellent. All right, so that was fun. So now, Ms. Tinapple, it's your turn. I know your partner in crime is not on tonight, but we're going to show what you guys came up with. That was what you came with, right?
Yeah. Oh no. What we came with that was what we ended the week with.
Okay.
But we started on that first day, we took a walk on the beach and we just kind of saw what had washed up. But Linley
I love
and
your
I
work
were
table.
Yeah. Hey, half of that is Sarah and Dale.
Oh, sure.
So.
That's what they said about you.
But you know, I work in rock colors, which are gray and, you know, muted colors, and Linley does not work the same way. And also, I respect her so much that I was a little bit afraid that I would just do whatever she told me to do. You know, that I would. So I found out she had never made a rock, and so I showed her how to make a rock, and I found out she makes terrible rocks. Her rocks are awful.
She needed rock
Now
lessons.
you can learn to defend herself.
I know. So But I did want to tell you the first day in that big house, 10 bedrooms and, endless bathrooms. But every picture in every room was yellow and blue. Not that it had started that way, but they had all faded to yellow and blue. And I said something to Linley about this, and she looked at me very seriously and said, "Magenta is fugitive."
Wait, say that again.
And
Magenta is what?
fugitive.
Okay.
That is, magenta fades out of everything first.
Oh, okay.
Linley can say things like that put the fear of God into you.
Sure.
And so I have always had a great respect for her. But it was great fun. She thinks in terms of flowers and food because she's Hawaiian and she's a cook. And I think in terms of rocks, and not just rocks, but for this project I was going to do rocks. So I thought, how are we going to make this work? So
you did.
But it did work. I love to watch her work, and she has to have a blue million pieces before and then she puts them all together. That's not the way I usually work. And she kept saying, make more, make more, make more.
So a little pressure.
Yeah. But the stroke of luck for both of us was Seth's project, because we had very gray and dull looking things that weren't going to be very, I don't know, they didn't work very well. And when I saw Seth's sea glass, I thought, that's what we need. I had never made sea glass before. Yeah, that's all rock there. But when
this
we
has
added
the sea glass.
color,
right,
when we added the sea glass, it really perked it up a whole lot.
And
I said to Seth, can I run with this too? And he was very generous and said, "Go sure, go ahead." So, and it was really good that we had the oven too hot at one point, and that made the clay even more translucent. It was just a happy accident.
Love that.
So, I don't know. It just it all came together at the end. We were really on the last day, slamming the 800 pieces we had together
to finish up. Yeah, you need a lot of pieces. I love how that looks. So Seth, come closer to your mic and just say you were working on that concept. So Cynthia saw it. You can be Cynthia's partner for this, since you sort of were a little bit. And you said,
yeah, I wish you would show his palette, because I looked at his palette and was totally transformed. I thought, oh man,
you loved it.
This is what we need.
I don't know if I have his palette. His palette is in that piece we showed in the beginning there. Oh wait, is that you, or is that?
Well, that's the beginning of it.
No, that one's. Oh, that is the beginning.
It's just the beginning of it. I mean, that was like the first 2 minutes of it. It grew and grew and grew.
Well, that's what's fun about those kind of things. And here's something else that grew, but we won't talk about that. That's things have to come out of other things. It's just the way it is.
I've been playing with translucent for a long, long time. It's work that hadn't matured yet. It actually has since then, but it was work that I've been playing with. But when I got there and I knew that the water and this was, sea glass kind of came to me, and I started working on it. And then what was interesting was that I had no interest in just filling them with pieces of sea glass. I wanted to do more than this. When Cynthia came over and said, "Do you want them?" Like, can I use this? I'm like, "Yeah, please." I want to do something with it, but yeah.
But that's always fun. It's always fun to get someone else is working on something, like, please let me play with that. I want to try
absolutely.
that.
And the cross-pollination that happens when that happens, and where people go with it, because what comes out of Cynthia and Linley is very different than what I'm going to do. It's all processed through each of us differently. So
it is.
You have to take it and process it. I was pretty amazed at how quickly they were able to come up, and I think finding, I guess Cynthia, was it was that how we found the Pardo clay? And
Yes, I saw some.
Wait a minute,
Yeah, we
Cynthia.
had given
Cynthia.
Pardo
Wait.
clay and
Cynthia. Unplug your mic. It's doing that weird thing and plug it back in.
we had some. We were lucky because the Judy and Tammy were so skillful in getting the companies to just send boxes and boxes of stuff.
Oh, nice.
So I think there's a picture of us just kind of going crazy in this supply room.
Nice.
Where we had Pardo clay and we had every kind of clay you could imagine, everything, or polymer I should say, not clay.
Oh, there you are with a nice big tray of stuff.
Yeah. Well, that
but
was
it got more and more. It got lighter and lighter. Yeah.
More stuff.
Yeah, it just was like I just kind of had to dilute
You played.
it down.
Yeah, you played.
Absolutely.
You played.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be.
And so I guess the Pardo, I was like, oh, let's try this. And then Cynthia, I guess the oven was too hot or not too hot, actually. The oven was perfect because we ended up finding out that Pardo clay, when heated to, I don't remember what the exact temperature was, but it got almost clear. I mean, almost like glass. It was pretty amazing. And we're like sitting and we'd literally watch it. It'd be like kind of milky. And then as it cooled, you just watched it turn clear.
It's magic. I've watched.
Yeah, it is.
Anyone who's listening who wants to learn it, there's a class on craftcast.com, and it's all rocks and sea glass, and it's one of my favorite things. I just think I don't know why, I like the rocks and the sea glass. I'm like you, Cynthia. I think it's.
May I chime in with something?
Yes, darling.
I remember very distinctly when these pieces were in parts on their table, and I went over thinking that, and I started picking things up, thinking that they had gone down to the beach and found beach glass.
See?
It's virtually impossible to tell when you look at them that it is not beach glass.
Yeah.
I mean, the way the surface, the shine, the variegations, and everything, and the translucency, it just absolutely looks like rocks and sea glass.
It's really cool. But wait, let me take a quick question here. What I can't get into too much technical tonight, guys, but there's stuff out there you can learn. Jill wanted to know, did you drill all of your holes before or after, Cynthia?
Usually I do it after, but I think if I recall, we did it as we went so that we wouldn't have to
go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. And you guys, you can just type in for what did you use for coloring your Pardo translucent?
Well, actually, for this we just used the smallest smidge of clay because I don't know that we had inks or thought about inks.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we had any.
So, but it just takes the littlest bit of clay, of opaque clay.
Yeah, I think.
Come closer to your mic, Seth.
We were using Fimo and Primo as coloring agents.
Yes.
Just like a thumb. I mean, you would take your nail and you'd just fleck off a little tiny piece, and then you'd blend that into a big block of translucent, and it would just give it that color. And when it got clear, you could really see the color come up. So when you do it, it looks kind of milky, almost white. But when you bake it and it gets this clarity, the color just starts to pop.
No, it's pretty cool, and it happens pretty fast. I've watched it, Cynthia,
Yeah.
and it looks fabulous. Now, Cynthia, do you have the place? People are just asking where to get the Pardo translucent. Are we still just Googling Pardo translucent to find who has it in stock?
Yeah, you can. I know that Ellen and Sue at what's it called? Oh, shoot.
Which one? Polymer Clay
Creative
Express? Which one?
No.
Creative Journey.
Right. Creative Journey in Beaufort, Georgia.
Okay.
That they just had their ship came in with a whole shipload of
There you go.
Pardo translucent.
There
But I
you
think
go.
you can get it other places as well. They have a pretty good price on it, so I would recommend them.
Very cool. So you had a good time.
Oh, I had a marvelous time.
Yeah. Really, how could you?
Well, and some of these pictures are I took a lot of snapshots of like Sandra's boots and what somebody's wearing and
Right.
I'm
Well,
looking
here's-
for gossip.
I love this. Here's Leslie's interpretation of Cynthia. Love that. Adorable. Here's Cynthia working away. She's covered in it and working on it. And you're all inspiring right there. Love this. Of course, you had to be on the computer as well. Can't give that up totally.
Not just one.
Not just one. Is there more than one computer? Oh, yeah, not just one, but two. I understand that. I totally understand that. Well, I'm going to start going through some snapshots because these are just so cute. But let me just see if there's any other questions. You guys go ahead and ask some more of your questions if I've missed them. Oh, here's a quick question. Maura, hello. What advantages does Pardo have over, say, Fimo? Was the Pardo what gave the translucency? Better translucency than the Primo translucent?
Pardo has a blue cast to it, whereas the others seem to have a yellow cast,
Okay.
and the blue looked more sea glassy to me.
And I think also it's the clarity on it when
Yes.
it's baked. It surpasses anything else I've seen.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
But it was just because it was on hand that we tried it, really.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
is fun. Lorene wants to know, how large a block of Pardo can you get? Is it one of those that you get in those
It's
big?
a 2-ounce block.
It's a 2-ounce. Okay, so there
Yeah.
you go, guys. Let's see. Pardo has wax in it also. Well, there you go.
Yeah, it does.
People know what's going on there. Let's see. Sandra, you're getting an echo with my, that's weird. I don't know why that started happening to you, Sandra.
I haven't changed anything. I hope. Maybe I'm the only one. I don't know, but just letting you know.
Thank you very
Plug
much.
it in.
That was very nice how you just wrote
Hey,
that to
during
me.
this technical break, can I just say that people who have already bought the book, if they wanted to write and send in a really great review, that would be most welcome.
That's very, who said that? Is that you,
Sarah.
Tammy?
Sarah.
That was me.
Oh, Sarah, great idea. And you guys, again, go over to anyone else as we're finishing up here. Go over to Tammy's website, Tamara Hahnemann, and you're going to be getting a follow-up email from me with all these links at the end of the day tomorrow. But you can buy the book right through there through Amazon. It's a great way to go buy it. Makes it easy for you. Well, I do want to still, for fun, that was a serious part of collaborating, but you have so many great pictures here. We have to show your head chef. Anyone who has questions while we're going through here.
Don't forget Julie and
Judy and Julie.
Wendy and Judy.
Wendy and Wendy. Okay, I don't think Wendy is not on.
No, but Julie.
But Julie's here
And Julie
Julie
is.
and Judy.
Judy, too.
Judy.
Judy, who is Judy's partner?
She's probably had too much.
Wendy and Julie.
And Wendy.
Trio.
Oh, it was the trio. All right, well, let's unmute her. I don't know if it's safe to unmute her. Should we try?
No, I was just
We
saying, I
should
just talked
unmute
to her on my
You
other
can
line.
explode if we don't unmute her.
All right, so let me unmute her so she can give us her experience. Okay, we unmuted
Okay,
her.
she's been drinking.
Ooh!
No,
Oh,
I'm
no.
All right, let's all be very quiet
Sorry,
and listen
fell
to what she
asleep
has to
there
say.
for a while.
Oh, come on. All right, tell us your experience, darling.
Is Julie back on?
Yes.
Because I secretly called her while I was muted, and we were laughing about everybody else.
Oh, you guys are too much.
We are. Well,
Well,
we had a fabulous time. The biggest problem was I was downstairs with Rich shooting pictures and going out to get toilet paper and more food. And so I kept teasing him, okay, I'm doing drive-by art. So I would throw some little striped ball at them and they would stick it on somewhere fabulous. Oh my God, there's Jim and his jammies.
I'm
Those
going
look
through
great,
here.
Jamie.
Your wonderful
Is
cook.
that not the best picture ever?
That sort of says
Don't
it
you have
all.
a
love that
picture of
picture.
Sarah and her jammies?
I love this of Sarah. Here's my favorite. There's Sarah Hart at work here, but I like this. She's discovered a drill. I'm sure this, Robert, I'm thinking this must be she's realized how fabulous it
No, I
is.
don't think so.
No,
And-
it's mine.
That's
It is-
her. Yeah, that's Cynthia's
Yeah.
extruder gun.
Oh, it's your extruder gun. And I love this. Just blow that baby down. So love that.
Cool it off.
Cool it off.
Yeah, to
Cool it
hell
off.
with this whole discussion of gun control. I'm all.
There you go.
Extruder control.
Extruder control. All right, someone explain to me. I know, and I'm going to have to, I promise I'll get to some of the
Leslie's
questions.
Oh, it was
God.
spectacular.
Oh, Leslie's
the
muffins.
Southern biscuit.
Those biscuits.
And that was just my plate.
Exactly. You guys, I will show as much work as possible. It's really, you're going to see it in the book. So I'm sort of giving you a sneak peek here, but I will show more
Those were
work.
little boats.
This is back to Robert's
Those were
work.
the boats before they were filled.
Obviously, there was good times were had by all.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Robert brought a goodie bag full of toys.
Of
that
course.
are very festive.
All right, while I'm showing these fun pictures, I'm going to ask some real questions. Everyone shout out your favorite, or don't shout, never mind. Speak softly. Your favorite kind of polymer clay. People want to know what it is you guys use. I knew if
Fimo.
it's color or type or style, what you like to work with. Let's put it that way.
I use old Fimo Classic. I use old illegal Fimo Classic. I like the texture and the colors best.
Sarah, come closer to your mic. I'm hearing what you're saying. So you use all what? Say that again.
I use exclusively Fimo Classic and whenever possibly the old poisonous plasticizer version.
Oh dear. Okay.
And this is Sandra, ditto.
Yes. Ditto. That's what you like to
Ditto.
use.
Old stock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else wants to volunteer? What do you like to use? Seth, what do you like to use?
Everything. I love Fimo Classic when I can get it because I haven't been in the game as long, so I have some of it, but there are people who have years of it stored away. So if there's anyone out there who's looking to get rid of Fimo Classic and they don't want to give it to Sarah or Sandra, send it to me. I'll pay you for it. I use Primo, Fimo, Pardo a little bit. I loved the old Cernit. I used to love that for the finish that it gave you, but they changed it and you can't get it anymore, so I don't. But I'll use whatever.
You do.
Yeah, mostly Fimo and Primo, and some Kato. I use some Kato. I've gotten using more of it again when we were at the Outer Banks. I had a chance to work with it and started really finding some great uses for it and liked it. So.
Yes, I hear it. Someone's being arrested. Probably Judy's being arrested in the background is what I'm guessing at this point.
For God's sake. I mean, you're only showing pictures of wine bottles, and then you're talking about that. That's ridiculous.
Here. Now, this is Dale and Robert. What's the story here? This is going to be a good one, Robert. Fill us in.
Oh, God, I forgot all about this. I think Dale would go for a walk on the beach virtually every morning.
Mm-hmm.
And she just started, and every morning, I'm not a morning person.
Mm-hmm.
So every morning I would find these little gifts on my table. So I just started horsing around with them. So that was the bottle cap. The centerpiece is a bottle cap that she found. That green piece going across is a piece of plastic that probably washed up on the beach. I have virtually no idea what that bottom piece is. I think it's something that she fabricated.
Mm-hmm.
The background is some copper that I made, and that in that set piece is the green inside the circle up top. There is some polymer that she made, and then that's an old washer that I found on a walk that I took. I just dapped it. I made it into a dome, and then we just kind of assembled the whole thing, and it's all bolted together.
I love
Well,
it.
the piece on the bottom is a piece by Sarah and Dale from their.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I think maybe Dale made that.
Dale's piece.
But it was from our collaborative
efforts. Beautiful.
Yeah. So this was truly a collaborative piece from, all over, from the environment as well as the participants.
Lovely. Someone asked Robert, were you influenced enough to start adding more polymer to your work?
I am, in fact. I'm doing a lot more polymer. I came back with, again, all of the polymer that Judy and Tam were able to get. I brought back a bunch and started playing, and I've been doing a lot more polymer, in fact, especially with cold connections. So I like to do it with a lot of settings. As a matter of fact, I'm doing a thing coming up this spring about polymer clay and cold connections.
All fabulous.
So I'm using a lot more.
This is great. Here's Leslie's. I love this. Here's everyone, and then here's everyone in clay.
Leslie, tell the story.
Yay, Leslie.
Leslie, you're a genius.
Leslie, tell the story about these.
The story? Like about everybody?
No, you got to
just tell
edit
them what
it down.
You did.
Tell you what you did here.
I just wanted to make something. Everyone that was there were all people that I admired so much, and the ones I didn't know, then I got to know when I was there, were like Rich and Jim, and I just made theirs while I was there. But just knowing a little bit about everybody, like Cynthia, she's like a little superhero woman. Just that's kind of how I see her.
I, of
Judy,
course, am a mime.
Okay, Judy's is sarcastic because hers is a mom, and so it's just kind of sarcastically because she talks a lot, and love her. Thank goodness she does. But and Robert
So
works
cute.
in metal, and I had this little sword that he had made. It was a little piece of metal that I took a class at Airmont with him, so I just made him like a little sword swallower, daredevil or something, and it's just all the way I kind of see people, but I mean it in the best way.
It's so adorable. Wait, who's
Yeah,
this on
Tammy
the
being
up here?
Tammy being kitten with a whip, I think that's
I
charming.
love it.
And she had to keep us all in
That's who
line.
it is. Oh, the kid with it. That's adorable. Wait, who's floating on the cushion?
Oh,
Linley.
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 Fabulous.
Oh yeah, because she sees everybody's future.
Got it.
Yeah.
So cute. I know that, Seth. So cute. So cute. Very talented, darling. All right, wait, we have some more things to show here. Well, there we go. There we go. Exhaustion.
You know,
Jeff Dever,
I was
everybody.
just about to say, I was just about to say what an important role Jeff played in the week.
And there you
True.
go.
Talked much about
You
him
gotta
tonight.
do some of that as well. Here is, we looked at this before, Miss Belcher's piece. This must be what you did beforehand, right, Judy?
Yeah, that's the project from the book.
Love
Yeah,
it.
go back up to Jeff sleeping.
Go
No.
back up to Judy with the mustache.
Yeah.
Am I
All right, there we go. Dun, 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 dun.
No, I can.
Oh, yeah. No, Jeff, we asked Jeff to come for the week because we wanted somebody to kind of moderate dinner time conversations.
Perfect.
Because we knew we were all like big talkers, and so we thought it'd be interesting to have someone kind of lead us in some conversation. And his
Sure.
lovely wife Kay recorded it all, and so a lot of that's in the book too. Because I've always been fascinated by what happens around the dinner table. Like you go to a class, but I always like dinner afterwards because that's when you
Absolutely.
find out the good stuff.
I agree with you.
So that's kind of what he was there helping us do. So it was really good, and he didn't sleep the whole time.
And whose piece is this? Is this a collaboration or a
That is Julie Picarello, myself, and Wendy Malinow.
It's
So that's what we
fabulous.
did. We didn't want to do jewelry. We wanted to do some big honkin' wall piece that moved and spun, and we called it an adult busy box.
I love it. I thought I had another shot of that of you guys trying to shoot it. That is so
Julie,
fabulous.
didn't you
Here she
just
is
have
right
such
here.
a good time?
You know, it was so much fun. There was no fear, no being nervous. It was like playing with toys the whole time. So it was fabulous. And we
Yeah, the only time you were afraid was when Wendy was doing the meat.
Oh, wait.
hated.
That's so. Here's the meat.
They would stick pins in the eyes and leave them on my workstation in the morning. I had nightmares. I admit, I had nightmares the whole time.
But it looks fabulous at the end. It does. It looks, I love that, an adult busy box. That's a great way to look at that.
I have a meat necklace up on my wall.
Oh, sure.
I
Everyone
was
should have.
sitting at the same table with Julie and Wendy.
So gross.
Yeah, well, there you go. And here is Wendy's bracelet.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
that's her project in the book, so it takes you step by step how to make that.
Each
It's
of
so
us-
amazing to me that Wendy makes such creepy and gross things, but she's just like gorgeous and stylish and
I love it.
sophisticated.
I love
Great.
it.
I think
I
she
love
did
it.
she wear heels every day in the house?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was sick.
I love it.
Sick.
I love it. Well, you guys came out with some great stuff, and you're all still talking to each other and enjoying each other's company. So there you go. How
Absolutely.
fabulous is
Planning a
that?
reunion. We're trying to,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yes.
planning a reunion.
Yes, we need
Yes.
that
Yes,
reunion.
we need a reunion. We do.
Yes.
Let me just see if there are any other
Book
questions I
2.
missed. Any book 2. Yeah, everyone loves the work. I know it. I don't have any more pictures of that owl being made, but there might be more in the book, just saying. There you go. Anyone else have any other questions here as we're finishing up? How did you manage to create all this work in one week? That is the question. Let's go with that. How did you guys?
No
Did you guys?
sleep.
No sleep.
No,
Okay.
it's amazing what you can do when you don't have to cook
Right.
and you have no
Focus.
one interrupting you, and you're all on the same wavelength.
Right.
And you saw Leslie's little caricature of Tammy holding the whip.
Oh, so there you go. So there you go. You need someone to hold a whip, and you need someone
No.
else to cook, and then you're all set. I love that there. Kitten with the whip. Well, it
Well,
keeps
and
you
Tammy's
focused.
husband, Rich, Yeah, Tammy's husband Rich was very efficient. We set up the garage as the photography studio, and
Oh,
he
great.
kept people right in line. Okay, it's your turn to come down and photograph. And so it was great having a professional photographer right there,
Yeah,
working on
Well,
everybody's schedule. And
Plus,
perfect.
super nice, very relaxed and super nice.
and seriously,
yeah,
Judy is the queen of organizing, and
Oh, here.
she thought of
Yeah.
every single detail. So we really got there. We knew exactly what we needed to do and what the time frame we needed to do it in, and everything was available to accommodate that for us.
And there you
And
go.
it was easy speasy, really.
And you all
we
had
had some
fun.
downtime.
And we
We-
had someone
yes,
cooking our meals, and
Yeah, we had
Oh
a
my
great
gosh,
cook.
yeah.
yeah, we didn't just have someone cooking our meals, Seth, be real.
Yeah, no, right.
Yeah,
We
we
had a
heard that the
chef.
food
We
was
had-
amazing. Yes, that's
No,
always
afternoons,
I'm just saying we had
little
time to do
treats.
work.
yes, all important.
Yeah.
So, well, let me just show. Here was the house it all took place. How lovely is that?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
it is
here is
beautiful.
here is the group
And
once
it really
again.
did rain. It really did rain every day.
That was perfect. It keeps you
Except for
focused
The last
inside.
day.
Yeah, except for the
And then-
last day.
When the dolphin, we saw a pod of
Oh, yeah,
dolphins.
the
Remember
dolphins.
that?
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
A huge
so
pod of
amazing.
dolphins, yeah.
Saw us. Yeah.
Well,
Hundreds and hundreds of dolphins.
we'll leave
Yeah, it was-
everyone with a beautiful view of the ocean. We all should have that, a peaceful view like that. I'm going to remind everyone, you guys get the book. I'm just saying you'll love it. It's just sort of it. So there you go. Go over to, you can go anywhere, but here's just a link that's set up for you at Tamara Hahnemann's site. And you can just click right here, Polymer Clay Masterclass. Will go right to Amazon.com. And then make sure you come over to craftcast.com. You got a coupon code that I give you through the weekend, so you can get 20% off. So many classes in there on Polymer you'll love. So many talented people. It's freaking crazy. Plus, here is the special also to take advantage of. Anything you've forgotten tonight, you will be getting a newsletter tomorrow to follow up with any things that links and all that kind of stuff, because I know we try to squish in a lot tonight. I am so thrilled, you guys. Thank you so much for coming on. This was a blast.
Thank you, Allison.
It's
Thank
always
you, Allison.
so much.
Thank
It
you,
was really
everybody
nice.
out there. That was great.
Thank you for everybody
It
for
was
coming.
wonderful to see your names on the list.
it is.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed it is.
And I look forward to seeing so many of you come back. There's a whole new set of classes, Craftcast classes, that'll start in March. Lots of new categories and things. I'm so excited. I'm just going to tell you this one little thing. I'm so excited because I have this young man, so talented, is going to teach how to make sugar flowers. I mean, you could do it out of polymer. You could do it out of whatever, but we're going to do it with sugar, and they're outrageous. So fun things coming up at the Craftcast site. So make sure and come back and check out all of that. So I want to give a big
Hey.
thank you.
Wait a minute, Allison.
Yes.
It's Judy. Of course, I can't leave without just saying a couple more things.
Go, Judy.
So we have a blog, Polymer Masterclass. It shows a lot more behind the scenes stuff.
Thank you.
And Seth did an amazing little present for everybody.
That's right. Everyone's going to get that. They'll get that in their present. They'll see. Here, you guys, here is the Polymer Masterclass blog, so you can check out and follow up on things. That's a great resource to have. All of you that have been asking some questions that maybe didn't get answered tonight, go check out everything over there. And you're all going to get a little gifty that Seth put together. You'll see. You'll get it tomorrow. Little remembrance from the evening. So, anything else, Miss Judy? Did I cover
No,
everything?
that's it. Thanks,
We're good?
everybody.
Toast to everyone. Pour another glass of wine, I say.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks so
Right
much.
now to
Cheers.
do it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you,
Stay
guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Good
Bye-bye.
night. Bye-bye.
Night.
Good night.
Bye.